Yes, first person who gets to get a copy of my book.
There you go. All right. They'll be coming in any moment.
What a big day. It was an amazing day. Great day for
Amazing.
courage.
And you are
Oh,
in the
here
city
they
of Prague.
are. And
Here they come.
A ringer, Julia Payne is the very first to join, one of our staff.
Friends, we're glad you're joining us. And if you will look and see, our very own Norm Eisen is in a very beautiful place. And the first person who guesses correctly will get a signed copy of Norm's book. So you
I
get guess, you have to say the city and the location behind Norm.
Oh, you have to name the location. That's
Right?
a
It's
little
not
more
enough just to
challenging.
come
The
up with the
city's
city.
not enough.
We are bringing you live breaking news on multiple fronts on a day that we have to mark. It is not only, Norm, the day before our 100th day, the 100th day that the contrarian has been in. Thank you all for making this journey with us.
Yes.
But it is a critical day in the fight for democracy. So we're going to wait for some more friends to join us.
Yes,
Don't get any
we
guesses
had a
yet.
good guess. Prague. No, somebody guessed
Oh,
Prague and the teen church, but it's not the teen church.
okay, so the game is still open. The game is still
It
open.
looks
Let's.
like the teen church. It does look like the teen
It
church.
is. It is beautiful
Yes, it
in
is. It
Prague.
was a gorgeous day in Prague. Very quick trip in and out of Prague to talk
Right.
democracy here. And Jen and I will have much more to say about that and about the lessons of President Havel. Hundreds of you are already pouring in. What for a
We'll give
historic
it just
day
a few
in
more minutes. Beautiful Prague. It is beautiful Prague. And someone from Manchester, UK. Why don't you come over? Have
Hey,
coffee with Norm.
come
Yeah,
on
I know it's
over.
late there. By the way, if you're doing the math and you're thinking, what is he doing up so late? Norm
Yes,
always
Vicky,
stays
back to
on East
Prague.
Coast. He stays on East Coast time when he travels.
It's
And that
true.
way we can get him at normal hours. So he sleeps in the morning. So don't call him before like noon.
I won't be on coffee with the contrarians
Well,
tomorrow, I
we will
think.
have the devoted Harry Littman, and now we are over 1,000. So
All
let
right,
us
let's
get
rock
started.
and roll.
All right.
Jen, I'm in a historic place for a historic day in the
Exactly.
United States.
Norm, you are in Prague. Very briefly, before we get to boom, 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 the news, what are you doing in Prague?
Jen, I think it's so important that we remember democracy is an international cause and is one of the greatest exports of the United States, these almost 250 years of our constitutional history. So I'm coming here to give and get ideas, just a quick trip in and out. I am going to be, as you know, I'm peripatetic and I'm going to be visiting other strong democracies around the world to learn lessons and share lessons. But boy, America did democracy proud today,
Yes,
Jen.
let's tick through them. First of all, we had a major retreat. I don't want to say a victory because they may come back, but a major retreat by this authoritarian regime. They were planning to roll out a series of executive decrees. Remember, we don't call them executive orders because they are decrees. They are tyrannical. They are the work of an autocrat that would have gone after the nonprofit status of environmental groups, groups that got overseas funding, groups that worked on the immigrant issue. And you know what? We were prepared for them. A number of very small, very big, very medium sized, really a huge list of nonprofits banded together. They put out a statement and give credit where credit is due. Senator Schumer held a press conference with all of them arrayed, and they said an attack on one is an attack on all. We formed the NATO of NGOs, the NATO of protection. This is collective action. Norm, it is a breakthrough because this can work. This does work.
That's right, Jen. And what we saw from the universal outcry, and why am I walking backwards? Because that's what the Trump administration did today. I'm also trying to get better light. We also shed sunlight is the best disinfectant. It poured down on this wicked White House scheme to hammer the nonprofit organizations. These are the ones that provide religious service to Americans, after school programs, good government, civil rights, advocacy, and so many vital services. It's what uh, distinguishes America. When de Tocqueville came and wrote Democracy in
Yeah,
America, he wrote about the American civil society
yes,
space. It inspired Václav Havel. Donald Trump wept after it, and he got hit by a tsunami of people,
ex-
every point on the political spectrum. And guess what? When you stand up, folks, the bully backs down.
that's right.
That's what they did.
And now they
That's what
said,
they did.
we're not considering anything. We weren't considering anything. We're currently not considering anything. We will keep an eye on them, folks, because I do not put them back past them to come back next week, next month, next year. This was round one. But you know what? We won another one. When Harvard stood up to this corrupt regime and said no, and in fact sued them, you know what happened? 180 institutions of higher learning stood up and said, we're not backing down either. Again, collective action, the NATO defense.
Solidarity.
Exactly. They said, this is academic freedom. We will not compromise with you. Don't try it with us. And you know what? Not much has happened since Harvard stood up to them. Oh, yes. They said the dog ate our homework. It was a mistake. Never mind, they
Yes,
said.
that letter never was supposed to go out. So you see again, just like with the NGO standing up, Harvard standing up, this over 100 other groups, solidarity, friends.
Exactly.
If you keep that's the Prague Bridge back there behind me. If you keep going across that bridge, eventually you'll come to the home of Solidarnosc, Poland, where the movement from freedom was called for freedom was called solidarity. And individual acts of courage can matter so much too, Jen. The
Absolutely.
producer of 60 Minutes, Bill Owens, one person, what did he do today?
He quit. He said, I can no longer operate independently as the producer of 60 Minutes. Now, you remember what is going on here. The Trumpies have been threatening to sue 60 Minutes on a bizarre, ridiculous theory. And in fact, they did sue. They are demanding that they turn over the uncut version of an interview with Kamala Harris. They already did that. And then they are presumably going to come up with some cock and bull theory for pursuing them. So, you know what this fella did? He said, you know what? I can no longer operate independently. I can no longer do my job at 60 Minutes. I am leaving. Now, he stunned his colleagues, and we do not know whether he was in on a potential settlement, which we have all feared between 60 Minutes and Trump. We don't know whether there was a specific story that was squelched, but we do know that he stood up for press freedom and thereby embarrassed the likes of ABC, the Washington Post owner, Jeff Bezos, the ridiculous tech executives who gave $1 million apiece for that inauguration. This matters.
They
People
gave
are gaining strength.
Bezos,
Yes, they are.
Amazon is paid $40 million
I mean,
there for this these ridiculous purposes. uh, you can stand up, and if an individual like Bill Owens can have that courage and integrity, is it too much to ask that Jeff Bezos do the same? I don't think so. But contrarians, we've got one more news flash for you,
exactly.
and this involves each and every one of you. You're all standing here with me. Jen and I just celebrated Passover. One of the things we read in the Haggadah, the Passover Seder that we read that night, is that all of the Hebrews, past, present, and future, were there We all left Egypt. It's a symbolism. We all participate in freedom. Well, guess what? All of you contrarians, because we're owned by nobody, certainly not Jeff Bezos, all profits support our litigation, and we and you and our wonderful partners and clients and co-counsel had a tremendous win today in the Voice of America case. And it was so meaningful. People were giving me high fives here in Prague. And I'm going to tell you why. The Voice of America, our international broadcasting telling the truth about democracy in the United States and around the world, was a lifeline in communist times, those dark decades here in Prague. Today, we went to court, backed by all of you, and we won a preliminary injunction with our team. Voice of America can't be broken by the Trump administration. It has to be turned back on. It has to broadcast. And there's celebration. Truly, I called Jen, our editor in chief, earlier in the day. Some contrarian reader stopped me on the street to show me the contrarian on his iPhone. People are excited about this big Voice of America win. Congratulations, contrarians.
Absolutely, you did it. And just to recap, one day in the fight for democracy, backing off on the executive orders, universities standing up, Bill Owens taking a stand, Norm and his colleagues winning at the Voice of America. And you know what? We have many more stories. We have the most extensive, the most informed, the most exciting overview you are ever going to see on the first 100 days. That is next Tuesday. That is April 29. Put it on your calendar, noon to 3. Go on our Substack, RSVP. We are going to have a conference to end all conferences on the fight for democracy. How is democracy holding up? We are going to have superstars, including the president of the AFL-CIO, including people like Sherilyn Ifill, excuse me, including our friends at the New Republic. It's going to be awesome, and we're going to chat like this all day long, and you can be part of it.
We're
Norm?
so excited to have a Prague bureau, even if it's only for one day of the contrarian. I'm going to be coming to you. I'm traveling around the world talking to democracy leaders. I'm trying to get out of the US a couple days every month to tell the world democracy is strong in the United States, is pushing back on autocracy. The American people are strong. We're a very contrary nation. And that's certainly true of you contrarians, standing
So,
up for democracy.
so thank you very much. Safe and happy travels, Norm. We will look forward to your return. And all of you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And remember, next Tuesday, 12 to 3 Eastern Time, we will see you. And I will be back tomorrow morning with Harry, and we will pick off where we left off tonight. So around the clock, we're always there. We're like a guest who came and won't leave you. We're always there. So we will see you tomorrow. Safe travels. Have a
Bye,
good night, Norm.
contrarians. Bye, Jen.